Well, hello everyone, and thank you for joining us for another episode of Divine Panther Presents. This is a good evening as we're saying goodbye to reasonable doubt, one way or the other, because this is season 2, episode 10, and I'm not doing season 3. I doubt there will be a season 3, but we'll talk about that at the end of this video. But anyway, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. You can like on the video and comment on the video, share the video, watch the video till the end. We got a lot of cool stuff going to happen. We're going to get into things, talk about other shows you really should be watching instead of this piece of shit. But anyway, but again, let us know how you feel. I'm definitely gonna let you know how I feel. But we're gonna start with positives. I do have positives. I know you don't believe me. I know the thumbnail says "fuck these two people." We're gonna get into that. Fuck these two people. But anyway, start off with positives. All right, here's the intro. Oh, wait. I got to do it now. Wait. This is gonna be funny. Wait. You ready? I got to do it.
This is awesome. This is amazing. I love it.
It was psychological. It was emotional. Extremely entertaining.
But as always, as we try to say here, as we said, if you are new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. And as we talk about this video, please like on the video and comment on the video, and we will get back to you as soon as possible. Yes, the trial of the century, Chanel Tucker, has come to a dramatic end. What do we think of the verdict? What do we think of the sentencing? What do we think of the aftermath? I want to start with I really want to start with the trial, and then got some of my highlights of this season. Well, really, I guess Jermaine changed his mind. He will be back, or he won't. But anyway, let's get to it. Kim, what did you think of the trial, of the verdict, that sort of thing? And there he is.
Well, I mean, I didn't have a problem with the whole trial. I mean, it was okay. And the ending, the ending was surprising that they gave her probation and they gave her, community service and because there's so many Black women, and I'm saying Black women because Chanel is Black, that are in jail for killing their abuser who did not get that type of sentence. They are still in jail for life, period, in the story. Whether they were beat yesterday, whether they were beat the day before, whether they were beat for 10, 20 years, they are locked up. So, and not to say people are not fighting to get them out, but yeah, this is definitely a Hollywood ending. Let's just say that. So, I'm not a fan of Chanel, so I was like, but I do understand that she was protecting Natasha. That is what you do as a mom. You protect your child. So that part of it I really did. And I was glad they finally showed it. I was like, but he was tearing her up. I was like, Jesus, man, he was tearing her up. To be honest with you, I had PTSD for a second. I had to stop and then start again because I was like, okay, I'm getting my own flashbacks. Let me just pump the brakes on here. And then I got myself together. But yeah, he almost killed her, choking her. He would not stop choking her. If Natasha wouldn't have hit him, she'd be dead for sure. So yeah, for sure, she would have been dead. There wouldn't have been any trial. So yeah, that's how I feel.
All right, Jamani, please. What are your thoughts?
Are we just doing thoughts, or are we still doing positives?
We're talking about the trial, so let's talk about the trial. Like, what do you think the trial and the verdict? And
that would. That's not going to be a positive because I like that. Like they just do whatever they want to do, and it doesn't make any legal sense. So like I don't have a positive for that.
It's a TV show, so they're gonna do whatever.
It's a TV show, man. So it's fine. Like But again, what did you? I mean, think. Were you surprised? Did you see it coming? That's what I'm saying. Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I was surprised because this is just like fantasy because like there's no way like. All right. First of all, there's a duty of candor that you have to the court if you're a lawyer. So how are you going to say, oh, somebody else did this crime, so let me go to opposing counsel, tell them who did it, and then neither of us come and tell the court, meaning the judge. Like, we're just It's just our little secret. Like, and she's the whole thing at the end about, oh, I know that you talked to the judge ex parte about the sentencing. What? Yes, I
What the fuck is happening?
I don't like. Okay, and then the judge like, there's no sentencing guidelines or anything. Oh, okay. All right. The judge says you, the jury, determine if a crime was committed. No, the law determines that. You determine if, like, it's. She admitted to it. It's not a matter of
If she did it, so but okay, Juwan. Okay, I hear you. All right, Juwan, but all right, come on. Anything else? What's on your chest? Come on, bro.
I'm like, I guess the positive out of all is Morris Chestnut just has that swagger or whatever. Because it was like, damn, this is really convincing, even though it don't really mean anything. Like,
His closing argument.
Neil Hurston says if you don't protest when you're being hurt, they will kill you and say you enjoyed it. It was like, yeah, this sounds very nice, but this has nothing to do with anything. Like, I'm like, you're not refuting any of the physical evidence. Any, like, her Lucy's closing was pretty good, but I'm like, I was expect. I don't know. It just fell all the way apart. Like, this is TV magic.
I mean, I hear you. So, Marcus, you bring up some good comments, and we're gonna get especially that CBS thing. So I was personally, I thought again, it is TV magic. They got to do certain things, but it made sense to me that the jury said manslaughter, voluntary manslaughter, and not premeditated murder, because I felt like that was, again, they saw, like, despite what the prosecution was trying to put on, that, like, it's she didn't plan it, but she did kill this man, and it wasn't self-defense. The man was turned around, you hit him in the back of the head. That's the opposite of self-defense.
No. What? How long? All right, in the legal definition, which is something that they never do on any of these shows because it's too tedious and it's the boring part. But there's a thing that will get cases overturned all the time, which is jury instructions. How do you interpret the law that you're giving? You write the law, you interpret it this way. This was said during the trial. You're supposed to ignore this. All of that very tediousness is kind of boring. They skip that part. It's not, you're the only ones who determine if a crime has been committed here, and then that's your only instructions to go and deliberate. What is involuntary manslaughter? I'm like, if it's premeditated murder, it doesn't mean that it has to be premeditated a month in advance. It could be 10 minutes in advance, 5 minutes in advance.
I hear you, Jemai. But we're still so to your point, and I thought, what's up, Kim?
It still didn't make any sense to me that the point that I have always said since we started talking about this is it's impossible for him to be killed the way she showed it, well, the way she said he was killed. Why isn't anybody looking at that? Like, no one is. I understand she said she did it. I get that part. But the way that she says she did it makes no sense. It's no logical way. And we saw the choking, right?
No.
Was she going to be? I mean, literally, we saw her getting choked this episode, right? Yeah. How in the world did she wait a minute? Hold up, JC. Let go. Hold on.
Well, so
no, wait. To your point, right? Listen, she says he has me up against the wall. He's choking me. Physical evidence. If they can say it was 2 hours until she called, if they can get that scientific, right? You can tell he was in a position like he's laying forward. He's not up against the wall. He got hit over the head and he went down. It's not he was standing upright and got hit.
But it still doesn't make any sense. She was beating.
No, but I'm saying that disproves anything. Even if she says, "Yeah, I thought he was going to go and do something," he's in a crawling position. He's flat on the floor when he gets hit on the head. There's no way you can say he posed a threat if he's on all fours, basically.
And also too, because he was hitting the back. Like it's like when a cop shoots you in your back, that means you were running or walking away, but they still shot you, right? That's the same thing. If he's laying on his back, she hit him, so he was not. It wasn't self-defense. It's his back. She hit him in the back of the head. So now, if she would have stabbed him in the front or shot him in the front, that would be more self-defense, right? I mean, but in the back, whenever it's in the back, you can't. There's no way you can say unless you could. Well, I guess you could say, well, I thought he was going to the kitchen to get a knife. I thought he was going to get a gun. You can think all you want to, but if he didn't have that in his hand, no.
So that's what I'm saying. Like when she got on the stand, which is even what Lucy said. Like, okay, one. So again, to Jamani's point, I thought the same thing. Defense after closing arguments, defense comes in. It's like, oh, wait a minute. The stepdaughter confessed. Here's a signed confession on a piece of paper, not from the cops or nothing. Here's a signed confession. Here's evidence that we investigated on this whole other suspect who confessed. And we're just going to tell the prosecution. We're not going to present this in court. We're not going to show, as Jamani said, we're not going to show the judge. We're going to let the prosecutor decide if she wants to just turn over her whole case. And she's like, fuck you, I'm just going to go forward. I was like, this don't make any kind of sense because that would be reasonable doubt. You know, I'd be like, hey, but that being said, the fact, again, I like the sympathy part. Again, they were like, you did it. Let's not say you didn't do it, but we're not going to say you planned it for weeks and we don't believe what the prosecution was trying to tell us, right? And then I understood what they were trying to do with that. I understood that it made sense that the judge was like, how she commuted the sentence. Because this is the same judge who was on the stand as like, damn, girl, you went through that? I'm like, you're supposed to be impartial. Like, what is happening right now? So like so I was like, okay, this again, she's not a danger to the public. Like there's no history or even intent that she's gonna go out there and start killing other people. Like she was in a dangerous situation with her husband, and she dealt with it. But again,
why did she run after the fact?
So again, but then Jamani, the 2.5 hours. So Lucy brings it up in closing arguments, but doesn't bring it up when Chanel is on the stand. What did you do for 2 hours? That was 2.5 hours. What did you do? What took you so long? Apparently, she called Jax, and somehow no phone records bring this up.
No, but wait, she turned the body over, and I'm like, what the hell was that for? What was that supposed to be?
Yeah, I didn't understand why she did that. That didn't make any sense to me. Why did she turn the body over? I think because she didn't know what the hell she was doing.
Yeah,
because I mean, it's gross. That's one. And then two, it's a dead body. Why am I touching you? And it doesn't benefit her to touch the body and move the body if you're trying to cover it up. Just leave the body where it is.
And all right, so let me say this. Natasha says, you saved me, so I'm gonna save you, all right? What did she didn't save her from anything because he wasn't dead.
Well,
this
okay,
is
that's
the
not
crazy difference. She just let him die.
So, but I mean, so
like, she's like, oh, she told her to go, right? She turns around. He's begging for help. She just says, "Oh, fuck it, I'm not calling 911 or anything." That's the crime in and of itself.
So that goes to Marcus's statement. It isn't really clear who actually killed JT. Natasha struck the blow, as you said, but didn't kill JT. Chanel let him bleed out.
Yeah, she let him bleed out. That's true.
It should have been more conspiracy more conspiracy to self defense. And again, this goes to again, if this show was had any kind of credible legal support, which we will get to the irony of that later, but this would have been more fleshed out. The 2 hours should have been fleshed out on the stand during cross examination. We said this plenty of times. She ran. Her and her lover ran with $30 million. Now, she thought it belonged to her lover, but that's not the point. She left her children, and the plan was for her to go to Mexico. Like, innocent people don't do that, right? So, like, there's a whole narrative they could have put, but they didn't do any of that. And I'm saying, so
when the hell did Sally find out?
Huh?
When the hell did Sally find out? Because we see her call Jax.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
When the hell did Sally find out? Because she's like, I've known all along.
So thank you, Jamont. So again, we did not see her call Sally back. I did like the fact that they very eloquently said, make sure you know Sally was on the phone, and therefore whoever's about to walk in and kill JT is not Sally. I did like that, but logically, Sally would have called back. Like, what the fuck happened? And we would have saw that. Sally should have been the first phone call. Oh my God, JT is dead. Like, what happened? She calls Sally first. Then Sally tells her, call Jax, because you need a lawyer. That's what this should have been. And that would have explained the 2 hours. One, she's the same size as her stepdaughter, but I'm gonna let that slide because that same thing happened in Power. But I'm like, and then she put on the clothes. Also, the murder weapon, Natasha's fingerprints on the
David,
murder weapon.
It's a sweat outfit, okay? And Chanel is not really that big. It's a sweat outfit. It has stretch. It stretches. So it
fit her. I just agree that it fit her that way.
It just seemed like she just stood in the bathroom for 2 hours.
I don't need again, but see, we don't have time to see 2 hours pass in this flashback. I mean, for one. But the Natasha angle was decent, but I'm saying she's only been in 3 episodes. There's 19 episodes in this series, and she's only been in 3. And this is the first one she actually had any kind of significant dialogue. And like, it doesn't make sense. But also, anyway, I did like she should have went to the cops and confessed. Are you truly trying to save your stepmother? You go to the cops and be like, no, I did this shit. Arrest me. And then Jax becomes a lawyer or whatever. You don't go to the defense and pray that they somehow present the evidence. But I like the fact that she made an effort. I thought it was silly that it's Adrian Hunter who's there with the girls when Chanel gets out of jail and not Natasha. Like she should have been like, thank you, stepmom, for taking one for the team. She's a convicted felon now. I mean, either way. So I'm like, I
disagree with that. I wouldn't have wanted my daughters to see me getting out of jail. I would exactly where the girls were where they should have been, which is in their house where they're comfortable, and then their mother comes home. Why do they need to see her walk out of prison?
Again, I disagree with an 18-year-old girl. It's not the baby.
Why do you think 18? 18 doesn't mean that she's mentally able to handle her mother walking out of prison. And there's another one that's littler than her. I don't know how old that child is. They don't need to be. No,
she's not there. I'm not saying they're both there. I'm saying Natasha, the one who killed her dad to save this woman, is there to thank her when she comes out. She's old enough to handle that. Is what I'm saying. The girl, baby girl, I agree with you, but 18.
I disagree. We can disagree.
How many? Are there 2 kids or are there 3 kids?
There's 2 kids. It's Natasha and the younger Jordan. I think it's the younger.
Because they keep saying, the grandmother's watching the kids. The 18-year-old is supposed to be at college in a dorm or something, and that's why I started to think it was 3 kids.
No. And that's the other problem with this bullshit. They yaz this grown woman, okay? Like, when she comes home, she's standing in the moment, the spot where she murdered her dad, okay? And she's like, hi, mommy, let me hug you. And I'm like, what the fuck? And she's like, go upstairs and put on your PJs and we're going to watch a car. I murdered dad right here, like 6 months ago. Like, maybe we shouldn't stay in this house. Like, maybe I shouldn't be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go upstairs with my little sister. Like, you are 18 years old, you're not 8. I'm like, all this pissed me off. And then the mom is
Next
still
season,
like,
we're gonna see her having panic attacks like Jax.
thank you, Jamani. Thank you, Jamani. The only person who should have panic attacks is Natasha. Okay, not fucking Jax. But anyway, where is it? Where is Natasha finally standing up to her grandmother and being like, I'm the one that did it? Like, stop hating fucking Chanel. It was me. That was a moment that they just shit on. Like, this would have been a good
when you
moment.
have a sentencing, right? Victims can come and make impact statements or whatever. We saw this in the Jeffrey Dahmer thing, right?
Well, that was real life, but yes.
But yes, my point, right? So I'm like, why, if the mother is so against this, why would she not come
Make an impact statement?
If she took the stand, why wouldn't she come and say, this woman took my son away from me and my grandkids?
Absolutely. Also, no, this is you're right. You're right. She also, why was
She
Natasha
just acted like, I accept it now. Okay, well, you got out. You were found guilty, but
it don't make any sense. But then also, Natasha should have been asked to testify about did you see any abuse in the house? Yes. Right? Like this couldn't been the first time she came home and saw JT beating Chanel. I totally disagree with that. So I'm like, but it should have been an option. She's grown. Like, hey, can she testify?
She doesn't need her parents' permission to be testifying or anything. She could have been.
That's what I'm saying. Like, but like, it would have been a storyline to be like, Chanel's like, no, I don't want Natasha there. Like, something to bring Natasha.
How would we have fit in the storyline about Denzel Washington's wife having a new boyfriend and the Hamilton play, and I can sit in the front seat and Instagram and all of that?
This stupid shit. Anyway, real quick, I do want to get to the comments. If it was, I disagree with this, Mark. I just personally, but it was her white privilege using. It's not a fucking white. She saw a woman. She finally understood. It's actually woman to woman is what it was. Lucy went through her own domestic abuse, apparently, that we just kind of found out about. And then she connected with another woman who went through domestic abuse. And it was like, hey, let me help her. To Jamani, I didn't even think about that, Jamani. How do you go behind the defense's back and be like, hey, by the way, also, they copied and pasted the dialogue. I couldn't even, I was ashamed.
What? Your lawyer steps out of her role and says, I'm speaking as a friend. Don't even have, like, I'm not a person who's all about aesthetics and clothing, but as a person who's dealt with the laws, you have to come to court. She was sleeveless, no jacket, nothing. I'm going to address the court now as an officer of the court, but just as a friend. And like, I couldn't even pay attention to anything she said. I was just like, that's not appropriate for court.
I mean, but again, she was trying. I understood her trying to stand up for her friend. I got that. But the real quick, I want to talk about Lucy just because the whole scene of her husband, in the ex-husband in the cafe was well. I understood what they were trying to achieve. The writing was lazy as fuck because they just copied the same dialogue that they gave JT, and I'm like, this is sad. Like, y'all, you couldn't even. I was like, come on, bro. Like, give him some new words. Like, just.
That's what you had a problem with? What I had a problem was with the son. When she came and she told the son, right? I want you to go back and watch this. He says, your father was been arrested. Says, what happened? Okay. When you were younger, she goes through the whole story and says she doesn't say what happened today. She never once says, she says what happens before. And he says, oh, we'll never have to see him again. And I was like,
that's it.
She told you why he went away before
the first time.
Yeah.
How did
anything about today?
Okay. My other issue with this is, though, how did Daniel find out about it? If she didn't file any kind of police report about the abuse, somehow Daniel investigated the prosecution and was like, hey, Jax, just because I got a few minutes, did you know that what is she going to do with that information? What were you trying to do with that information that you were trying to, and after closing arguments, you're looking into the past of the prosecutor. Like, and then how did you find it? There's no paperwork because she didn't file any. I'm like, so what? How did we even get here? That she's like, I know you were abused, girl. I'm not trying to sway you or nothing. I'm just saying you should understand because I know your past. And I'm like, what is happening with this stupid shit? Like the whole Lucy thing should not have been here at all. It didn't get us from point A to point B. And it also, why how did she know he was going to kill her? And why did she not tell the cops? Your husband was arrested with a gun, drinking alcohol. Well, that's a shame. And I hope he gets arrested. He was coming to kill me. She's a prosecutor who somehow doesn't think she should tell the cops that her husband was coming back to kill her. He had murderous intent. And she's like, nah, I'll just not. I don't want to hurt his reputation.
No,
I guess.
the thing that bothered me was she said last night, after he got arrested, last night was the first time I had a good night's sleep in a long time. He was just in prison for like a decade.
Oh, I get your point. I get your point on that. Kim, I'm sorry. Lucy situation, child. What you think? They tried to wrap.
I didn't understand the conversation with her son because, first off, she should have had that conversation with him years ago to make him understand where his father was. Because I don't know if did he even know that his father had been in jail? Like, I don't know. They never really told us.
So she said what she told them the non-abusive stuff that he was but then
what she did was she lifted him up and made him seem like he was someone that he really wasn't.
Yes.
Which is, you're not supposed to do that. You always let your kids know that their father loved them and things like that. And whatever happened between the mom and dad had nothing to do with you, that kind of thing. Because kids always feel guilty. And you have to make sure that they understand it's not their fault. It's an adult thing, right? But I don't understand why she never really sat him down and told him, because there's a way to tell your kids what is happening without making the dad look horrible, without making the mom look horrible. You can talk to them, right? So I didn't understand why she went all the way back years ago instead of saying what happened that day and why he was in jail. That didn't make it. That I don't know who wrote that, but that didn't make any sense to me at all.
It was. And
then the whole setup in the I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry.
Like the whole setup in the restaurant or diner or whatever the heck it was. Now, understandably, there are places that prosecutors, lawyers, and cops hang out in, right? Like it's usually like down the street from the precinct or down the street from the courthouse, right? They had that like in Upper Marlboro in Maryland. But anyway, the way that she did it. Now, the cops didn't know that this was going to happen. She just took it by chance.
Yes.
That those two cops come in there every single day, right?
Yes.
Around the same time.
Yes.
But had they not come in there, stupid, that man could have killed you in front of all of those people.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? There are knives. There are forks. There's all types of stuff. This man, he could have just kept beating your head against the table. So she was not smart. That was not smart. I don't know. I mean, you're a prosecutor. I get it. Maybe you're book smart, but your common sense did not work that day, because common sense would have told you this is probably not a good idea. Now, even though you're in the public, sometimes you're in public, someone will still beat you. You can't depend on people around you to be like, stop hurting her. No. That doesn't always work. Sometimes people allow you to be beat up. You know,
especially if a domestic issue, because they can be like, you could turn around and be like, you know what, I changed my mind, and they try to get caught up in your bullshit.
Do you know how many people have been killed trying to save a woman who's gonna go ahead and back the abuser?
Right.
That happens all the time, and vice versa. Happens with men too. No, so her common sense went out the window with that one. So that I didn't like that part either.
I would have expected, again, a prosecutor to be like, this is a sting operation. I would have took that better. It's already set up. Like, everybody's there. I want him to say something on tape, and that would have made a little bit more sense. But to be like, again, on her own, she just like, no. I was like, they did it better in Fight Night. Morris Chestnut packed his bags, so you'll head out to his new series on CBS. He's gonna play John Watson. I'm happy that he's not playing this nigga character that he's doing in this series. But that other show's gonna get canceled.
What's the other show?
He's playing John Watson. He's playing Sherlock Holmes' sidekick
Oh, really? So it's
yeah,
gonna be what a new take on Sherlock Holmes?
Yeah. Like Watson. So
Just Watson. Oh, okay.
post Sherlock Holmes, he's returned to America, and he's starting up his medical practice again after his mother got killed by Moriarty. So if the show goes on, I think they may generally bring in a Holmes, you know what I'm saying? But it's supposed to be Watson's show. Which again, I hope it does well. I do hope it does well.
So this is like Elementary meets Rosewood.
I hear you. I do. Thank you, Jamani. That's a good comparison, and I feel it's more Rosewood actually. But they're similar to which I love the Penguin. It's a great show. But
what channel is gonna be on?
Huh?
What channel is gonna be? You know, I'm gonna watch.
CBS. As Marcus pointed out. So CBS January next year.
Oh, cool. Okay. Yep. Because I love Paramount Plus. I'm watching all types of shows on there right now.
And Taylor Sheridan starting up again. So did JT's mother? No. That's one of my major problems with this, because the major storyline is the mother-in-law treating Chanel like shit in defense of her son, but also trying to protect the daughters. And it would have been good in that moment for this 18-year-old in college to be like, hey, I did this, you know what I'm saying? I mean, and be like, hey, like, stop talking to her like this. And that probably would have changed the whole situation. And that would have been character development. Because then grandma, maybe mother-in-law would have been like, I'm sorry, I didn't know that. And maybe she would have took a different approach, I would think.
Maybe that scene was just cut out, because you see her demeanor has changed, but we don't know why.
Well, I mean, I feel like Natasha's character was just misused. Like, this whole happy-go-lucky bullshit don't make any kind of sense considering what she went through. In that, they shouldn't be selling the house, is my point. Sally,
absolutely, and I agree with that. That house, there's no way you can live there where my husband died, where anybody died. Honestly, don't tell me someone died in the house, because I'm not living there.
But also, he beat you in this house. I mean, right? He beat you in the house. Stepdaughter had to murder him to protect you in the house, and the young girl should be like, she should have saw the abuse. There's no way she didn't see some of that abuse. Again, father murdered right there, as far as she knows, by mama. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, how are y'all just having a good old time like in this house? Like, I
would have thought that they went to like one of the friends' houses, like maybe Autumn. What is her name? Amanda. I think the young lady that with the mohawk kind of hair.
Autumn.
Go to her house. Go to Sally's house, even though we don't know how long Sally's gonna be there. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't have gone back to that house, or even a hotel room. They got enough money for a hotel, Airbnb, right? Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't have had Natasha and the other little girl. I think her name is Jordan. I'm so sorry.
It's Jordan.
Okay, I wouldn't have had them go back, because it's trauma. It is trauma, right? That their father died in that house. They know what happened in the house. Kids hear everything, whether you believe it or not, and they have their own trauma from that house, right? So when they were like, when Chanel was like, get your PJs on and let's go, I was like, look, I don't know who wrote that part. I did not like that part, because for one, the children would have been crying their eyes out just seeing their mother, right? And then two, it was like she went off to Afghanistan and came back home. Like, you're a hero. No, you're not a hero. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is traumatic for all of you, but their father is dead. So can we calm down with the happiness? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, somebody should, and then Mavis being there, actually, I was kind of shocked that they made her character calm down, because you know how she is. She's like a pit bull when it comes to Chanel. Yeah. And I was like happy that she actually acted accordingly, which is, we are still going to be family, because absolutely that is the truth. That woman can sue Chanel to see those kids, period. Grandparents have rights too, you know? So, and Mavis didn't do anything to those girls, so she should be able to see them, and Chanel needs to get over it. So, but I didn't like that part. I thought that was too flippant. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And again, like, it just, especially for Natasha, it just for her age, it didn't make sense. It was good to see Chanel post, what Natasha did, and her trying to come up with a plan, and again, her not really knowing what to do. So it seems somewhat realistic. What would you do? You're in that kind of situation. Her watching JT die, and she's like, "Do I help him? Fuck this dude." But even that was a conversation within herself.
All of that is trauma, though, right?
Yeah,
it's trauma. So how do you walk back in with a smile on your face, right? The tears would have been uncontrollable for me, right? As trauma. And then the children are still traumatized because their mother was in jail. They probably don't know Natasha knows the whole story, but the little one doesn't know the whole story, right? You know what I'm saying? Like they didn't, I don't know who wrote this part, but it was not well written. That was very, very, I would say uncaring. I don't even know what word it is. It was
inappropriate. It was inappropriate. It was inappropriate for the theme that they were trying to share of this happy reunion. Yes, Natasha defending Chanel was a great sentiment, but again, it's bad writing that we only meet these two daughters in this season for 3 episodes, and you don't build up their relationship. So we know that. Oh, how much? What's up, Jemani? I see you now.
I'm just like. That's why I said they're gonna tell me who the killer is at the end. I'm not wasting any brain power because we all were like, it's Sally. It can't be anybody else. They can't just say it was, the mailman or something like that. It has to be somebody that we're always seeing that we could just pick out. Not with this show. That's why I said. They'll just tell us. It's not like Scooby-Doo or something where, you can
actually put it together.
There the whole time. No, there was no clues here at all.
Because Scooby-Doo is better. What Jemani said, Scooby-Doo did it better. Because at least you see the potential suspect and you're like, oh my God, I can see. No, it really should have been Chanel the whole time. It should have been Chanel the whole time because it just makes sense for what happened. Like to throw Natasha in it at the end,
but also make it make sense though. Like it could have been Chanel, right? And like I said, they should have given it an actual self-defense. Like it should have been what really happened. It should have been real self-defense. Like okay, him choking her, right? Because I saw a movie like this the other day. If you're getting choked, man or woman or whatever, if you can reach for something like a lamp or a knife, you're fighting over a knife or a gun, that makes more sense that you got that weapon and then you stabbed or did whatever you're going to do. But none of that was said.
It just no. So again, even with the trophy that Natasha ultimately used, if she got her back to the wall, like I said, she grabs, she hits him on top of the head, and she doesn't call when he's on the ground bleeding to death, and then that comes out depraved indifference, as Jemani pointed out. Like you could have saved him.
That's a different thing. Now you're allowing him to die. Now,
that's what I'm saying. So it's like at this point, and then that's a Law and Order episode. Damn it! I mean, we've seen this done better. She was trying to call 911. She checked. Hello. We got Natasha wasn't thinking straight when she hit JT. Temporary loss of logic. Of course, I mean her reaction made complete sense. It's the now. She should have been going through all kinds of trauma at school. She could have dropped out of college really because she can't deal with the fact of what happened.
Mavis should have known, right? I'm gonna tell grandma because I got to get it out of my head. I need to tell someone, and grandma's the only one here. So I'm going to tell grandma what happened. And then, grandma can go talk to Chanel and say, I know what you're doing, Chanel. You know what I mean? Like they could have brought the grandmother into it a little bit more, right?
They could have did it better. And it just, and her, maybe Mavis, still trying to accuse Chanel because in her mind she's trying to protect Natasha. So she's like, no, you did it. But we acknowledge now that she knows who did it and that sort of thing. And then that would have made sense. Yes. The killer of shows is brought back. Damon. Okay, thank you.
His eyes are blue.
Oh, excuse me.
They are blue.
So this was probably one of the most ignorant things I gotta say, because we have had to endure 6-7 episodes of Jax going through these bullshit panic attacks, and because she was hit with a car, she was kidnapped, tied to a chair, had a gun pointed to her head for a while. that this caused trauma, and that makes sense. But after all of that, she's sitting up there smoking a cigarette, and it's like, I miss Damon. I'm sorry, Damon. I'm sorry that all of this is my fault. I'm sorry that in the end I cheated on my. Somehow she stepped out on Lewis and put him in the situation that he had to fuck Tony. And the biggest consequence of all of this was the baby. The baby. That's what she got down to. And Damon had to be like, hey, girl, it's all right. Forgive yourself. It's okay what you did to me. It's okay. And that dick was good, wasn't it? She's like, yeah, it was. I'm like, what in the fuck is happening?
And she has to shred his picture at the end. Like,
yes, she has to let go.
She has a psychological thing she's going through. So she's like,
she needed to have been going to forget all that marriage counseling.
Thank you, Jamani.
She needs to be going to therapy for whatever.
She does. No, she actually does, because she does have PTSD and she does need help with it. And
yeah, but that therapist ain't. She had her therapy session on the curb, and not. Yes. Her therapist should have given her instructions. Go on the curb. You will work out your issues or something. But this had nothing to do with therapy.
Apologize to the man that kidnapped you. Apologize to the man, your image of the man who held you hostage. You know, and let him know that you didn't mean it. That you were, and it came down to the baby. The white lady.
Wait. It came down to. She saw Chanel being taken away in cuffs. She sees him being taken away in cuffs. She's like distraught. And then she has to run into Lewis's arms. I'm like,
what? Like, it didn't.
Well, actually, she should have ran. Well, now look, in that situation, okay, you got Morris Chestnut over here. And then you got Lewis over here. Now, had Lewis not walked in that room, I'm feeling like Jax would have went ahead and hugged Corey, right? But then she looked and she saw her husband, and she appropriately went to her husband. Now, me, I don't know. If I had a husband like Lewis, I probably would have hugged Corey and been like, I'm gonna, hug him, in a platonic way in front of my husband, and then walk over to my husband and give him a hug.
Look, Corey has no shortage of draws. Like, he started off the show choking and bending over a woman, and then ended the show about to fuck another woman.
With Essence. I was so happy to see my girl Essence Atkins. I love her.
I'm just saying, what kind of character development is for Corey? Like, I was like, what? It's like, hey,
on a date. What's wrong with that?
He's like the draws will stay taken care of. Morris Chestnut keeps
Wait. You're talking about character development, right? We're talking about all the stuff in this show that don't make any sense. Hey, Isabella, you're gonna get out. When the fuck? How the fuck did this shit?
Yeah, I didn't understand that part either, Jamal.
Where
did that come from?
How is this happening?
They didn't even show what happened. They just threw that in there to. Okay, let me just say this, and I don't know if you guys agree with me. I feel like they tied up all the loose ends just in case they don't get another season. Because really, honestly, what else is there to say? What else is there to say? And they gave us a little smither, a little hope of maybe season 3 with the baby, with them being stupid, about the baby.
So I feel I feel for many reasons the show's not coming back for another season, but I think none of these things were things that were going to carry on to a season 3 anyway. Like Corey was going to be gone anyway, so Isabel shouldn't even been brought up, to be real. But I mean, so that really wasn't going to be an issue for a season 3 anyway, because that's more his thing. And he said the only reason he took Chanel's case was to help her. So I would love to see Morris Chestnut in Raising Kanan season 5 dating Raquel. That would be interesting. That would be pretty good. In fact, if they brought Michael Ealy and fucking Morris Chestnut to season 5 to make sure it ends, I would be like, hilarious.
I guess that Michael Ealy, fine as always, but he had on way too much makeup. I was like, his pancake makeup, his oh my gosh. I was like, who did his face? Like, I don't know if they were trying to hide acne or beard bumps or whatever, but his, like, this part of his eyes and stuff, I was like, Jesus Christ. Like, I mean, Well, we have HD TVs now, like 5K.
Yeah, that's Kim. You are absolutely right. When I watched the Family Business in HD on a big screen, that was not a good thing because you can see every flaw in everything, and I'm like, this looks terrible. I guess Barry, aka Adrian, will be heading to another show due to not getting engaged with Chanel. I Again, an unnecessary character, and I'm like, a girl, did you learn nothing? She's like, I'm not gonna be with you. He shouldn't even have been there. He lied to you. Like he lied to you until he finally got a conscience at some point. Sally. I thought it was Sally too until Jack said Chanel. That Please don't bring that stupid shit up. Like I hate that irritated me so fucking bad. She only said, "How am I gonna tell Jordan?" Because Jordan's a kid. Like maybe she's like, "How do I tell a child that their dad is dead?" As opposed to an 18, like let's say adult who can understand words like, "Hey, daddy ain't here no more." Like I'm not sure how Sherlock Holmes goes. That must mean she was there and she must have been and did it. Maybe she was just home and maybe she called her first. Like this doesn't. It just irritated me that somehow that was the clincher to bring all this together.
This is when like they were writing the story. They were writing it as they were going. It was like they were building the plane as they were flying it. It was like somebody came in at the end and was like, "How am I supposed to connect all these loose strings?" And they just said, "This is how we do it." Like all the bullshit after school specials. Okay, now Spencer is Chris Brown and he's dating Rihanna, and hopefully he'll have a domestic violence incident next season or something. I don't know.
Let's talk about Spencer, because I'm like, I didn't even know he actually went to the art school. Like I thought that was next season / next semester. Like this was still a conversation. I didn't realize he already went to the art school, and therefore that's what the showcase was about. I had to go back to the episode where Lewis was talking to Spencer about the school and how they had a show. And I was like, oh, what happened to Hamilton? He was supposed to be preparing for Hamilton at his current school that didn't go anywhere. But I want to talk about Naima. Like this. When she was standing there with this "I have no self-esteem, see me, love me" bullshit on her face, I really thought, I was hoping that this is the moment where she says, "Hey, Dad, when are you going to tell me about our brother that was born a couple of days ago?" Because Hattie told me, because her mom has been at the hospital 3 or 4 days, and so have you, looking at your son that you didn't tell us about. That's what I thought this moment was going to be. But this turned into, "Do you see me, Daddy?" Little girl, he figured out you had a period. I can count on one hand how many family moments he had with her. First, he figured out that as a girl, she bleeds and took her to the hospital for a period. Then he figured out that she was old enough to sit in the front seat, and that blew her mind. Then he punished her for getting a ride to her friend's house after he said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm too busy to take you to your friend's house." Then he got mad at her for having an Instagram account that didn't know what or went anywhere. Then he punished her again. No, then he got mad at her for showing her stomach 5 times, baby. He knows you exist and he knows what you look like. Now he cares more about Spencer, yes, but he knows who you look like. So I'm not sure this whole "daddy don't know me" bullshit came from. I'm like, what?
I told you that last week. I told you she was feeling like Jan from the Brady Bunch about.
I was like, this is that bullshit. Ebony, I don't understand what. No, there will be no season 3. But anyway, I don't understand Ebony apologizing. She's told us, and she told Chanel, it was JT. JT made me the bad mother that I was. I got hooked on drugs. What are you apologizing for? I don't understand that. Like, you were not a bad mother. You got put in a bad situation. So that's what the conversation should have been. Not, I'm sorry for what? I don't understand that.
I guess for being a drug abuser.
That's not her fault. She said that's not my fault. She said JT did this.
Well, as a part of the program, you do have to make amends and you have to take self accountability. So she's just working the program. If you want to be mad at the program.
What do you think? What do you think, Kim? You the mama. What do you think? She apologized. What do you think?
Wait, I'm sorry. Who apologized?
So Ebony, Candy's character, the member, because she asked Chanel to tell Natasha about her, And then you see the family reunion when Ebony just says sorry. I'm sorry, Natasha. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
well, yeah, you do say sorry. I don't understand why not. I mean, being a drug addict, I wouldn't say it's a choice for everyone, but it kind of is, right? Because you can always get help with an addiction, right? You have to want the help and you have to work the steps. So apologizing to her child for not being there for her because she was too, into her drugs to actually be her mom. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with saying sorry to your kid for that. You were not there. You were not there. You were on drugs, and drugs take you away from your kids. That the drugs become more important than your kids. Now,
I hear
personally, I have never been a drug addict or alcoholic, but I've been around people like that, and unfortunately, the drugs and alcohol beat out you being a good parent. And her saying sorry, what's wrong with that?
I'm saying because that's not the when Chanel came at her as you were a drug addict who chose drugs
Yeah,
over your child.
and she was wrong for saying that to her, but
But her response was it was JT. Like
well,
JT
no,
did it
no.
to me. I'm
What
like,
her response was that JT got her hooked on drugs, which happens sometimes when you deal with someone who's on drugs. What sometimes happens is that you do what they do, right? Because you want them to be happy, you want to fit in with them, you want to keep them calm, and like, yeah, if we're doing this together, then he won't hit me as much as he hits me because we're getting high together, that kind of thing, right? That happens a lot, right? Men and women, right? And so therefore, Chanel being mean about it was wrong because she didn't know the backstory behind how she got on the drugs. And so Chanel talking out of turn, but she's only talking because of what she was told. She's going by what JT told her, right? She
Yeah.
didn't know the story. She didn't know the true story of how this woman got on drugs, right?
So I've said I'm saying it was a good story. My point is, if they would have did it right, Ebony would have told Natasha and Chanel this story. Like she would have talked to both. Like one, she should be talking to Natasha. That's her daughter. But to be like, what you heard about me wasn't true. Your dad, and then especially Natasha seeing what JT did to Chanel, it would be easier for her to understand that JT also did it to me. And
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like that,
Yeah.
that would have been a better conversation to be like, I'm sorry, but this is how we got here, but we can move forward. That's what I'm saying. And that would have been a better moment. That's what I'm saying. Instead of her like laying her heart out to Chanel, I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's like, no, like let me tell my daughter like why I wasn't there and why, you ended up having to be the mom.
Yeah,
And kind of
and eventually that talk is gonna have to be. You have to talk to Natasha and let her know what happened. It's
Yeah.
not fair. It's not fair to Natasha to not really know the true story of what happened with her mom, and it's up to Natasha whether she wants to forgive her mom. It is not up to Chanel or Mavis,
Yeah.
or anybody else. It is up to that young lady to say, you know what, I understand. I still love you, and I still want you in my life. Or she could say, you know what, I don't want you around. She has every right to say that.
So the other thing I liked about this, it took a while, was Chris leaving Sally. This should have happened 4 episodes ago. But for them to be sitting in therapy and he's like uncoupled and that's all you get, I'm like, no. He should have left her in the car when she goes, oh, no, Chanel didn't even do this. Wait. So we're homeless. We will be homeless because you put up the house for a bail for a woman you know did not even commit the crime. Yes. Oh, we're done, bitch. Like 2 days. Like here are the divorce. Like, I'm sorry. I just wanted to make sure if I handed to Sally should have had her. The reason they should have been at the house because Sally had her bags and she was moving in with Chanel. Because Chris put her out. Like,
Yeah.
head or not, you leaving today. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I come over for the head, but you staying with Chanel because apparently that's who you're married to. Like that's who you committed to.
Yeah, what Sally did was a betrayal of her marriage. Period.
Yo,
you
done.
do not do that. You do not do what she did. She put Chanel before her marriage. Period. And you don't do that. Your husband is number one. Then everybody else, right? And until you have kids, then you have kids. Now kids always are first, and then the husband, right? But if you don't have any damn kids, your husband is number one. You tell him everything he needs to know about what's going on so that he can make an educated decision on Do I agree with you or do I not agree with you? Should we do this or should we not do this?
Yeah.
Because it's a team. It is not it is not my house. It is not your house. It is our house. This is our finances. This is our marriage. It is not a threesome going on here with Chanel in it. You know what I'm saying? So Sally's wrong. Absolutely.
Definitely. What's up, Jamon?
This is worse. Like, this is worse than cheating, because like this is worse than an actual side baby, because like a side baby goes home to the other parent. You now don't even have a home, so yeah.
And that never came to fruition. Like we like the house should have been foreclosed on or something, because they keep on showing you that same clip, and then they still have a home. So I didn't even get that. Mavis still wants to blame.
They should have been living out of that car.
Well, again, they should have been like, "Oh, this is a for sale sign now. You done, girl. Like, here's your bags, and you ain't coming back." When it was her own granddaughter Natasha who did it and got away with it, why didn't charge the daughter? Because they never told the authorities. They only told the defense, who only told the prosecution, who didn't do shit after someone wrote a confession and was like, "No, I killed this dude." Like,
no. Let's be clear. Telling the prosecution is telling the authorities. The authorities just didn't care.
There you go. So
they left it up to the judge. That's what she did. She was like, no, like she just was like, okay. Even the judge didn't know. I'm not saying the judge knew. What I'm saying is that she decided I'm not going to say anything about it, and I'm going to let the judge.
I don't care.
that is crazy. Anyway. Next season will be Spencer in the recording studio. Then Terrence Howard will join to produce him. Spencer got an acceptance letter from the art school, but they never said he immediately transferred into the new school.
I remember that episode where he got the letter.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I was like, what happened to Hamilton? Why do you think that there won't be a season 3? I thought they rushed episode 10 and the cliffhanger was weak. So so this will I have an image for this. Boop. All right, if you look at the overall, so Hulu/Disney has canceled pretty much every other Black woman show that they created. The other Black Girl got canceled after 1 season. Unprisoned got canceled after 2 seasons. Black Cake got canceled. So pretty much Onyx, as a channel, really doesn't have much left when it comes to content. The only thing they have right now is How Not to Die Alone, and I'm pretty sure that's going to get canceled too. So like
which is horrible. Like, that's a horrible show.
See,
terrible.
See, like
it is bad.
Onyx. I didn't even bother to make an image. They were going to create another show about the Black community kicking out the police and taking care of themselves. They didn't even move forward with that pilot. So
really,
that's like The Shy,
right. Right, and I was like, so
Shy, in my opinion, but okay.
I mean, I was like, so that was supposed to be a comedy either way, but I'm like, no, this show will be canceled. I mean, if I have to do it again, the other sign was the Angel of Death coming back one more time. The beautiful Michael.
He was literally an angel.
He was a figment of her imagination, but I'm saying, but the fact that Michael Ealy was in this last episode, I feel was the cliffhanger to say, mwah, goodbye, Reasonable Doubt. And so if they do officially get a canceled like message on deadline, deadline.com, we will do a video just so I can officially say fuck this show, and then I can also just list out all the other shows that Michael Ealy caused to be canceled. But they took them 2 years to do this season, so it's done. I'm pretty sure it's done. All right, we got Chanel acts like Lucy. They were both abused, but not compassionate to others, other abused women. I'm okay. I understand Lucy not understanding Chanel's situation. Who did Chanel not understand? So did Chanel find out about Lucy's abuse?
No, I think what Jessica's trying to say is that when Natasha's mother was expressing what happened to her.
Okay.
Chanel was kind of looking at her like, whatever. Do you know what I'm saying? She was looking down at her. And it was like, and the reason she was looking down on her is because she got on drugs, right? So to Chanel, you're weak because you got on drugs, right? hello, ma'am. You were letting a man beat you up just as well as this young lady was getting beat up. And she got on drugs to numb the pain of her being beat every day, right? Yeah. So yes, she took it another step, forward. But you didn't. That doesn't make you stronger than her because you still stayed just like she stayed, right? So Chanel was. I didn't like that character. I'm sorry, I didn't like her last season either because she's very snobby and very like Chanel. And I'm like,
well, so last season you weren't supposed to. See, last season she was that bitch that her friends made fun of, and justifiably so. And then they tried to change her into this loving, friend supporting wife, mother bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And then who got abused? So I'm like, this is not the character that we met like last season. So they were trying to, but too, it was weird. Even with this abused character, it didn't make any sense that she would take the word of her abuser about the other woman. Like, he's a manipulator. He's a liar. He's a beater. But somehow you're like, no. JT said you want shit, and I believe him. What? Like, what? Why would you do that? So that right there was like he must have gotten to your head for real. That didn't make any kind of sense. Yes, she did a better job in the few scenes she was in than she did in The Chi. I gotta say, Candy did a far better because she wasn't playing.
She did really well in this. I thought it was for the short time that they gave her. She did very well.
Yeah. So to characters whose relationships meant nothing and went nowhere, and then I'm saving Lewis for last, just to let y'all know. Like, I'm a shit on Lewis, but I'm gonna do some other. I'm getting ready for it. But right now, I want to take care of Crystal and Autumn. Okay, because these two storylines just didn't mean a damn thing. So we find out last episode that Autumn was trying to have a baby with her wife, who we still have not seen. Those are the two people who should have been in counseling because you just lost whatever effort you're trying to make a baby.
It's gonna be the brat.
Huh?
It's gonna be the brat.
I mean, just
she's the only lesbian that they ever put on these shows. I'm like,
I would love it. Or Queen Latifah makes a guest appearance. I mean, but it's like I don't understand. I'm like, what happened? And then Crystal, who all of a sudden has a wife that we never saw or got a name.
That they never said was a gay person. They made it seem like she was kind of man crazy in the first season, right?
Yeah, but I'm gonna let that slide. But it'd been like you just found out you passed the law test. You should be sharing that with your wife, not fucking Daniel. Like you should be like, "Hey, baby, we did it." And I'm like, "What is happening?"
Well, I guess I'm just saying, like she found out she's at work.
Yeah,
you see the email up. It's not like we got a long extended scene or anything.
But I'm good writing. Would have made this a family moment. To me, again, you introduced in random dialogue that she even has a partner of sort, and we don't even see they
didn't hire a wife yet.
They won't have to because but again, consistency. The two lesbians don't have partners. Autumn, they're both married, and we have not seen either spouse. But I'm like, Tony should have understood. Look, no.
Tony should have understood Lewis not wanting to see the son in a cat. Absolutely.
I disagree.
I agree with that because
I disagree.
When you see someone or when you see anyone that you love in a casket, you never unsee it. And you see your child in a casket? Oh my God.
No, I disagree.
Oh my God. Let me just tell you this really quickly. My youngest son had surgery when he was like 4 years old, right? And I thought, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to help them put him to sleep, right? Because, I'm mommy, right? I go in there, they put a Power Rangers mask on my child, right? The boy his arms just conked out. Do you want to know about a person who lost their shit because it was too much like him dying? I could not be consoled. It was horrible. And imagine if this was him dead in a casket. I still to this day still see my son where he just, of course, normally he went unconscious. That's what he's supposed to do, right? But it was so close to what it would be if he passed. No, I know nobody wants to see their child in a casket. And his baby was premature and it was teeny tiny. Oh my God. That's horrible.
So
this
what she didn't say that you have to
stare at it.
be the mortician or what have
Yeah.
you. They didn't say it was going to be an open casket. He said his words was, "I can't be involved in any of that."
Yes.
Like it wasn't.
Yes.
I didn't want to be involved in
that.
the right. He would still see the child in the casket.
It's
Or know that it's
Why? How?
No, I get.
But what, don't y'all think that is like a personal decision? He has the right to make that decision.
Okay. So this is I disagree. Like Lewis said, he said the first fucking time, I want the baby to go away. He said a second time, I'm slightly relieved that the baby's gone. And then this piece of shit is like, hey, you on your own. I brought some flowers, but you figured this out. Fuck Lewis. Fuck Lewis. Lewis is a 100% piece of shit. He as she said, he pushed himself on Tony because Tony was like, I can do this by myself. No, I'm gonna be in this baby's life. Then he said, no, my wife is gonna be into this. And then both of them said, fuck that baby. And they were relieved that this baby was dead. And then the piece of shit was like, I'm not even gonna be there. I'm not even gonna be there to help you get through this. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. My sister, I wasn't even born. So let me say, as I was told the story, my sister died in a week. Right? She and that broke my family. Like my mom and my dad were not right after that, right? But my dad was there. That's not an option. Like if you really give a fuck, he didn't even tell his children, Kim. Like that baby was alive for at least 3 or 4 days. He didn't even tell his fucking kids that their brother was born and died. And then he was surprised that a funeral was even on the table. He was like, a funeral? Like a funeral? Yes. A person was born and a person died, you piece of shit. And he's like, okay. Well, I guess. No. Fuck no.
To the kids, right?
No.
I told you before, we were arguing about, should he tell the kids? Should he not tell the kids? It was, okay, I'll tell them when the baby is born. Now right. I'll tell them when the baby comes home.
Right.
I told you he's scared to tell the kids. If you go back to that video, no, it's not a matter about that. It's a matter about, all this other stuff that you guys were saying. No, he was scared to tell the kids.
He was scared to tell the kids.
Well,
because he doesn't want them to look down on him. But he was
we agree. We agree with that. I personally was like, he was a piece because again, if this was real life, Hattie would have found out who got her mama pregnant, especially when the baby's born, and then they would have found out because Daddy was.
And that just goes to show you that if Jax didn't find out, he would have him saying, I was gonna tell you, I was coming home to tell. He was never gonna tell her.
No,
how come the kids didn't come see the baby? Though how come? What's her name?
Hattie. You talking about Hattie?
Tony. How come Tony kids didn't come to the hospital?
So that's bad writing because the sister would have been there, and then she would have seen
the father
exactly, and she would have told.
They didn't show that.
These are teenagers who know when Daddy's sneaking in and out of the house sleeping with Mama, but doesn't notice that Dad was there.
Let me say there's only 2 people that could be in a NICU at one time, right? The mother's already there. So I'm like, I don't think people are bringing entourages to the hospital to see the kid like it's a regular.
The ICU has rules. They do have rules, but the children can come in. They have to be masked up. They have to have gloves on, all that, and they can see the baby in the incubator, and then they leave. They're not allowed to be in there for a long time, but they are allowed to go see their sibling.
Tony, at least.
Yeah, but I'm saying to have the sister bring her friend with her to the hospital.
No, that's not what I said. I'm saying sister would have went. And then this is her friend. Like she would have been like, "Hey, what's going on? My brother was his name is Jayden. He's at the hospital. That would have been conversation. Like they were high school friends. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this would have been conversation, and Naima and or Spencer would have found out through them. It would have got out.
I watched this whole episode, right? And it wasn't until like the last 4 or 5 minutes that they said his name. They just kept saying the baby, the baby, the baby, the baby. And then it was, I'm thinking about having a funeral for Jaden. And then that was the first time I heard the name.
Yeah. Well, no, I feel like he said, I'm gonna be at the hospital with Jaden. I thought, but
anyway, he texted to Jax.
He said, I'm gonna be at the hospital.
I have closed caption, and he said it to. He said, I'm gonna. That's when she sat on the concrete on the side, and that's when Blue Eyes appeared.
She was like, "Damn, it's all about the baby." I really don't think Lewis meant he wanted. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Like, let's not do this. He said, "I wish the baby would go away."
But even okay, so even after that, okay, when he was crying on the bed and Jax was holding him,
he was a little spoon.
She was crying, but then also too, he said he was about to say that he was relieved.
Thank you.
And he did not say it. And Jax said, I know, because he's being honest with himself. He is relieved because he does not have to raise this child. And honestly, I'm not going to say that there's not men out there who are just like that. There are.
And honestly, he's a piece of shit like a lot of men are.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm like, that's all I was like, fuck this character. Like, as much as I tried to help, but this is the last time I see this character. I feel like the actor should have read the script and said, no, I'm not going to be the black father.
That is the job, right?
No, I'm still like, one, the show ain't coming back. But I would have been like, hey, let me die on the way to the way to see my child. Like, let me do that. Like, I'm not going to play a person who denied a kid to the last second and then was kind of relieved that the baby wasn't born, then wouldn't even honor my child afterwards. Even after, that is a piece of shit.
I think you got to choose your battle because they made a point of showing him at work because, you know, they never showed him at work before. I was like, why are we showing him at work and why are we showing the girl he mentioned the episode before? Like, I guess he fought for that as an actor.
Well, no, so I think again, prepping for a season 3, I actually thought that he got Lena pregnant. I thought that when the woman came to serve him, that was some kind of paternity suit from Lena. That's what I truly thought.
From the young lady in the office, the black young lady who helped him with the thing.
Because I'm like, why?
No, I didn't think it was that. I didn't think it was that.
Because there's no purpose. There's no purpose to her, and there's no purpose to this video game. So I'm like, why are they putting so much? Why does she have a name?
You don't get the concept of this show. They just put random stuff in every episode. I'm like, it would have made sense if Corey's father gave her flashbacks of her stepdad or whatever with Jax or whatever. Old men creep me out or something, but they never made any sort of connection towards that. They just have old men trying to go after her randomly. It's just random stuff all the time.
Thank you, Jemani, for that reminder. How I couldn't fathom why they gonna have Jax talking to her mother about relationship advice.
Oh, like, Mom, what was that scene about? Because it was literally all of 10 seconds. Or was it my TV?
No,
like she literally talked to her mother about, I think, the baby for 10 seconds, and then they went to another scene.
Yeah.
I feel like they cut that scene. I think it probably was longer.
It was probably more.
But they were like, it made no sense to even be in the show.
But they wanted to again, it's probably a longer discussion, but they wanted just basically to get down to the point that she had support, that Mom understood her position and was okay with her staying with Lewis after it was all said and done. Right. But I'm like, you don't talk to the woman who stayed with the stepfather that you said groomed/molested you, and it was like, hey, baby, men are gonna be men. So what made you think she was gonna tell you to leave Lewis? Like that's not what this woman does. Like, she's like, you stay with your man no matter what he does or who he does it to, even if it's to you. Like, I'm staying with. I'm like, of course she's gonna, and she loves Lewis. That was established season 1. She was like, you love Louis. So that was all unnecessary. Because now if the brother somehow told her to leave Louis, that would have been a change.
Wait, whose brother?
His brother. If his brother somehow like if something was too far and he's like, you know what, girl, I understand, and you leave, that's character development. That's a change. You know what I'm saying? Like that would have been something. Jack's mom is that woman who does it. Yep. To have a man. That's right. She knew Paul was touching her daughter. And then and to this point, what was the point of her new boyfriend? Well, I think Jemani pointed out, like that meant nothing. That meant nothing. I was like, what are we trying to achieve with any of this shit? I was like, I don't know. Yes. So I was like, fuck.
It was too many things thrown in there that really didn't need to be in there, I think. Like you can have Jax having a relationship with her mom that sometimes is difficult, right? Now, like, sometimes that happens, right? We don't all get along, wonderfully with our parents, right? So I think that was fine, but I think that when they added more stuff to it and they never really gave you enough information to kind of understand what is happening here, that's when it's unnecessary. Like I don't care that her mother has a boyfriend. Tell me something like maybe he used to be in jail, or he's, you know what I'm saying, like he used to beat women, or he, anything. Just give me
something relevant, or daddy came back.
Right. Like, daddy came back and was like, hey, I'm sorry about what happened. I'm no longer on drugs. And then, and mom is like, get the hell out of here, right? And Jax is like, no, but he's apologized. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. Give them some turmoil, right?
Yes, that's relevant. That's relevant. Like maybe
the only way you're gonna get relevancy is if whatever character you're asking for or requesting, it has some sort of smoking thing there, whether it's cigarettes or vapes. Because I swear they have to have like a sponsor or something. Like
that is her stress reliever, and we all know Morris Chestnut does smoke cigars, right? He does.
So thank you for that, Kim, because I was like, what again in the fuck are we doing? That they go behind the courthouse, and Morris is like, oh my God, you're a secret smoker? No, bitch. Go watch episode 5 where both of you were smoking cigars together while she was
in the cigar bar.
Yes.
Yeah.
While she was joking that she helped a black man get off of murdering a black woman, and they were like, mwah. Now this Morris Chestnut is like, I'm just a nigga from Chicago smoking a black and mild. I think. I mean, what in the fuck are we doing? Like, so this goes to my image right here that I would like to share. Hold on, where is it? There you go. This was a minstrel show to me. I felt like Kerry Washington and Larry Wilmore was trying to make some kind of black legal drama, and they just focused too much on the nigga element and turned this into some type of minstrel show, just highlighting ignorance in the black community with menthol cigarettes and niggas all the time and just ignorant shit. And they
made a show called Unprisoned, David. I mean, come on.
No, this takes it to the next level. We watched it, but this takes black ignorance.
I didn't realize that Sean Hawley was like one of the producers. That's who was with OJ.
Yes. So when you recognize how bad,
he's a lawyer, you know that, right?
That's what I'm saying.
He's a prominent lawyer, so how come she doesn't know the law?
Thank you. How do you make a show that's this bad with law when you have a lawyer on staff? Like this.
Well, they made Scandal, and they had the actual lawyer that Scandal was about. He was on staff too.
I don't understand. Like this doesn't make it. But I was saying, but again, that wasn't like How to Get Away with Murder was much more of a legal drama than Scandal. But I'm like, this is about court. This is about lawyers, and this show is laughable. Like, I'm like, I don't understand. This is a fucking minstrel show. And I do feel that I feel like Louis is the biggest one. Like, I hate this fucking character. And what he did with Jaden just took the cake for me. I was like, he's a good looking man. I'll give you that. Yes. And when this show gets canceled, I'm sure he will get other jobs. But
Well,
this
he was the husband that got out of jail on that show we used to watch with Yaya Acosta. Remember that show that was on Fox, and it was about the Hamptons, the Black Hamptons?
yes. Our kind of
That's
people.
it, our kind of people. Yeah, remember
Wow.
he was the one that came home. He was her husband that came home from jail. Yeah,
I tried to forget that show, but thank you for remembering. Like I did. I was like, I'll take your word for it. But
I was trying to remember. I knew his face, and I was like, that hair, because he always has that kind of box thing.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
And I was like, that's who that guy is. Yeah.
It's there you go. Thank you, Marcus. Our kind of
That's
people.
it. Yeah. Thanks, Marcus.
And yeah, she's on.
His head is shaped like Bart Simpson.
Yeah, she's on that show. There's one Lincoln Lawyer now.
Yes, I was about to say, go watch Lincoln Lawyer, y'all.
I love it.
Season 3 is out right now. This is a legal drama that has drama. It has law. It has sense. Like, this show has sense. Now, he survived some wild shit, but that's a TV show. But
it's really good, though. It's well acted. It's
far better than any of this bullshit. And I'm like, this, stop it. Like, go watch Street Legal, damn it. Go watch. I want to see drug dealing lawyers. And they had more sense. Like, this show was shit. Let me show you how. And I know Kim's not going to agree with me on this one, and I understand that.
It's okay. We can disagree. It's okay.
No, but you ready?
Yes.
Reggie Evans.
No.
In Good Times, the animated series, was a far better father, and I will give you the case. Both of these black men with goatees had 3 children. Both of them had a teenage son and a teenage daughter and an infant son. Both of them. One of them did not ask their wife to fuck another man. One of them, right? Like I'm just, babe. I mean, one of them did not leave the house when his wife got a job. One of them didn't have a side baby on the wife and then blamed the wife for the side baby. One of them stood by their infant child, even though child was a drug dealer, and somehow still lived at the end of that series.
It was a break baby, not a side baby.
Excuse me. Break baby. There was no break. Reggie Evans stood by his wife and was a loyal husband, a supportive husband, worked 2 jobs to help take care of his kids.
And he had a drug dealer infant.
And he kicked that kid out the house.
And he showed more respect for that baby than this piece of shit fucking Lewis right here, who wouldn't even acknowledge that his son existed to his children. Fuck Lewis Stewart as a character. Fuck him as a character.
Lewis Jax.
And fuck Jax too. Fuck Jax too. Because Lewis Jax makes sense because Jax wore the dick in that family. He was spineless. He was spineless.
Yeah, he was very weak. I always say I don't like weak men. Don't like it.
Damn it. He was a piece of shit, and I just hated that character so much. And this episode just took it to the next level for me. I'm sorry. What he did with Jaden was.
It's okay to have an opinion, and that's not apologize for what you feel. If you feel this way, this is the way you feel.
I know. I'm just saying. I was like, no.
Don't you want there to be a season 3? So just
far better than some of the other shit we watch and review. What's up, Jamon? What's up?
Don't you want there to be a season 3 just so that everybody can just say how much of a piece of shit Lewis is? Like that'll just be the
no, because everybody right now is doing recaps about it, and but you know what? To be honest with you, I don't. From the recaps that I've been watching, I'm not hearing a lot about Lewis being a piece of shit husband. Like, really?
No, I'm saying like a whole season dedicated to that, because that would be the storyline, them being sued, and it just every episode more cowardly weaknesses of Lewis's just coming out, and it would just you would just see it every week, every episode.
No. The season would be once again Jax having to grab her dick and take care of her shit husband.
Yes. That's what it's gonna be.
You remember when she stepped to Tony after school and said, "You got to know, remind me who I am." She would be in the fucking in the court shitting all over Tony. She intimidated and threatened her with legal action, and she will be in the court with Daniel and fucking Crystal shitting on Tony, fighting to defend this piece of shit. And then maybe I want, to your point,
well, defending, yeah. Well, did they say it was like, was she suing both of them or just him?
She's suing both of them.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, she has to defend herself.
I know. So, but I'm saying like this, it takes court. It takes a court proceeding for these people to go, oh, that's right, you two had a brother, and he's dead now. But you had one, and no, we didn't go to the funeral because I was not going to acknowledge his child in any way. But we can go to the gravesite, maybe.
And you and your friend are like somewhat family now.
Right. Hey, Patty, who came over, y'all family now. Anyway, Spencer. No, I thought Spencer was gonna come home with his own baby. I thought Spencer. Also, just let me. I want to get back to.
Why did you think Spencer was gonna come home with a baby?
Because the random ass light skinned girl that popped up, I was like, this is going somewhere, right? Like I thought he was gonna she was gonna come home pregnant or something.
Isn't that the same girl that he's been seeing the whole season? It's the same girl.
That's why I'm saying she's like, oh my God, I think I have one in the oven, and he's like, oh wait a minute, I had one too, and now the dad and son can like understand.
I think you're stereotyping young men having or babies.
I'm sorry. A show who says a young black man can either play sports or do hip hop. You know what I'm saying? He's already a stereotype. So like I'm like, so it's like it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, so
yeah, he could have been doing Othello or Hamlet, but it had to be Hamilton. It has to be the rapping play.
But he didn't even do that. He did this random ass. Like I thought I was watching Power Book 3. Like he has
no. He did a backflip. He did a backflip after he did a rap. It was like this was Empire on steroids.
Oh, okay. So Angelica said that Erica Vane TV has David same sentiments about Lewis. Okay, cool. Because I haven't watched Erica. I have Erica. I subscribe to Erica, but I haven't watched her. But Angelica, I'm gonna watch and see what she says. Thank you. I appreciate that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't think Lewis is a good character either. I am not a Lewis fan. I am not at all. I think he's a weak character. I don't like the way Jax is able to walk all over him. I don't like him at all.
Or just has to baby him in every situation.
Yeah, you have to baby him, and then you have to praise him for being a dad or being a parent. And that's, to me, he has the mentality that a lot of men have, which is annoying. Oh, I'm gonna babysit the kids. You can't say you're babysitting something that you created. It is you're watching your own kids.
Yes,
they're your kids. How come when women every day they get up, they go to work, they come home? And is that them babysitting their kids when they come home to them? No, it absolutely is not.
Parenting.
It's parenting. So why is it that I helped them with the homework. I cooked for them. I did. Nigga, that's what I'm sorry, ninja. That's what you're supposed to do. You don't get a medal for parenting. And that's what he always does every time. He has to remind Jax, you were not home. You couldn't pick up the kids, so I had to do it, and I had to do what you're supposed to do. And I don't like men like that, because that's not what it is. It is that you made this child, you parent this child, just like I have to do it. Just because I have breasts does not make it any different. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it's very annoying.
We watched her milking both of her breasts while working for her law firm.
She did.
Spencer in the bed, and he goes, "Can you touch
I
my
get
dick? Can I just a little bit?" And he was like, "She's like, no." He was like, "You want to go to a sex club and get another man to fuck you?" And she was like, "I guess." He's like, "Come on, let's do that." Like, what? Damn it! Like,
and then there was no sensitivity when he did that, right? Because you have to remember, when a woman has a baby, right, her body is going through a metamorphosis of different things. Like the hormones are all over the place. You've gained some weight. Your breasts are killing you because they are filled with milk. You do not feel pretty. You just do not. And so what a man is supposed to do, he's supposed to help you to make you feel pretty again. He's supposed to be encouraging to you. He's supposed to understand that depending on how your child came out of you, I'm not trying to be graphic here, But depending on how it came out, you may not be able to do
Right.
it. And if you can do it, it may not be something that you feel like doing because of everything else that's going on with your body. So patience is what a father should have when a child is born. But Lewis was like, no, I need you to get horny right now. And I want to see you with another man so we can kick this off. No, that's not what men are supposed to be doing. He was absolutely wrong for that.
And then, in some ways, as much as Jax was offended that Tony would fuck her husband, she should be thanking Tony because they were having intimacy problems when the season started, if y'all remember, because of the trauma that she went through. And when she, again, as I point out, because it's crazy, episode 2, when she found out that Lewis fucked another woman, panties got wet, and she was like, "Let me put it in my mouth." Like, it was crazy. Also, the next time she got horny was when she was taken hostage again by Adrian Hunter. She came home, had a couple of shots. It was like, I'm sucking the dick today. And I'm like, Jax has problems that need to be worked out. Like, and I'm saying, like, that's what we need to be discussing during these therapy. Oh, yeah, yes, Marcus. The great prophet, Chris Rock, said, niggas want credit for shit they just supposed to do. For shit that known people just do. They want. I ain't never been to jail. He said, "What do you want, a cookie? You're not supposed to go to jail, Mr. Rock." Also, but also, Marcus, ironically, he also felt the same way. He felt that a man's job was to provide for his children, and that it's the mother's job to nurture and raise the children. Like, he felt that way until he got a divorce, and then he actually had to do something with his kids. And he was like, "Oh shit, parenting is hard." But Lewis didn't even provide. Jax had to do that too. So Lewis was, again, a piece of shit. I just want to get that out there. She murders Lewis he murders himself. Like, he has no backbone. We don't need to see Spencer doing the Tariq. Yo, he goes to his version of Choate. And he starts selling drugs season 3. Yes. He gets him a Braden, and they start selling drugs at school. That's what needs to happen. I guess his new girlfriend is like his Effie. Like, that's what we need.
No. Forget about F. His tech, or whether it's Effie or Pinky or whatever, that would be his sister, because his sister was the one that was telling him how to hook.
Oh, that's right. We can make this a proper family drug operation. Like, if Raina wouldn't have got killed, she would have been part of the crew. Like, there you go, Jamani. Like, that's what I want to see Spencer do it. He's rapping and he's slinging. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what we need to happen. That's what I need. I need a hip hop drug dealer. What? Like, that's.
Yeah, because he's already said, I don't do the stuff, but he didn't say I don't sell the stuff.
I didn't say he ain't moving it. He said he ain't moving the product. That's what it is, Kim. We figured it out.
Spencer's gonna be a drug dealer.
Spencer and Naima, the drug dealing duo, they move in that weight. Because now they're both going to the artsy school for some reason. I don't fuck it. Let's just do that. And then, like, bam, slinging. I love it.
Wow.
Jax got sexual issues from her. You know what, Marcus? If that was true, that would be something to discuss, to bring this together. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a fair option.
And that should be another reason why you don't pressure a woman who is just giving birth to have sex.
Also,
right? I mean, that's
because, like,
if
he knew her past, I think she did tell him. I think we discovered that season 1.
No. I think she didn't. Remember, she didn't tell Lewis about it.
Oh, okay.
Find out. Yeah, she eventually let him know, but she didn't tell him, like, when they met each other and all that stuff. Okay. He never knew.
That was the big deal we were talking about at the end of last season. Was she waited this whole time to say, yeah, he's been babysitting.
Oh, that's right. Oh, hey, baby. I know we've been dropping the kids off the paw for like 10 years. Yeah, he used to touch me a little bit. What did you say, bitch?
Exactly. Yeah, people were upset about that. Yeah.
I just want to keep that to myself. But I let Paul every once in a while hold the kids. I'm like, we're getting a divorce. Like,
and then when you think about it, they have a girl.
Yes.
So you're gonna let your girl be with the pedophile? Like,
she was sitting on his lap. I remember that, and I was like, "What in the fuck is happening?"
And now she's the one who's traumatized that he's gone. She's like, "No, I can't deal with the new grandpa." Yeah,
and I bet you eventually it's gonna come out that she was actually touched too.
Oh, I feel that would have happened this season. I feel like if they were gonna do that, I think they waited too long, especially if the new boyfriend gets in and maybe he somehow is a molester too. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like maybe mom has a profile or some shit or whatever, and then like she
has a type.
She don't know it. She don't know, like, but somehow, it's a pattern, right? I mean, daddy wasn't shit, stepdaddy wasn't shit, new boyfriend ain't shit, and mama sometimes.
Yeah, eventually it's your picker, lady. It's gotta be. There's something wrong with you. If
he ain't shit either, right? You gotta be like, it's you, it's you, mama. Thing. Okay, so no, truly, Kim, should it come back? Will it come back? What do you think?
Well, let me see. I don't want to say that it shouldn't come back, because I like Black people working, period. Right? I do. I like Black actors working. I'm sorry, I just do. But they need to start again with the writing. They need to write more realistic storylines for this show. It needs to be changed. And I think they tried to change it this season, and it still wasn't what it should be. So just try it again. Get some more new writers, and try it again. I'm not saying that I care whether it comes back, because if we're not doing it, I'm not watching it. So it's no point.
I got you.
But it's not a horrible show, but it's not one of our best, I would say.
All right, so at least we're going that. All right, Jamani, what you got?
I would go as far as to say it is horrible. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I have to pause in the middle of it just to gather. I can't watch it straight through. This is something I have to take in chunks. It is.
Oh damn! It's that bad?
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah. Imagine. I watched this show, specifically this episode, and I was like, I can't prove it because I'm not a medical expert, but this whole, getting hit in the back of the head, and then I can still talk and move, but then I just collapse and die. I was like, something about this don't seem medically right. But
he bled out. That's what happened. He actually.
It was just like he has a pool of blood. I'm like, when did all of it? You didn't. All this blood just came from the back of his head. He's laying on the floor, but the blood just starts squirting out of the back of his head, and then
that's bad CGI.
Well, if you got hit in the back of your head where all the little small blood vessels are, have you ever hit your head? Do you know how much your head bleeds? A lot. My son
gravity though,
and it wouldn't stop bleeding. It was profusely.
Yeah, but I'm saying gravity, right? Gravity would keep it going downward. She flipped him over. He was already in a pool of blood. So I'm like, you would have think this stuff is squirting up and out or whatever. It was just, I was like, where did all this blood just all of a sudden just come from? It just.
So that's
bad practical effects. It's bad practical effects.
I hear you. Design. Yeah.
It's just, bro. They're trying to show his face. They want you to know he's hurt and that he's dying, but he still got to show his face so it looks fine. And he got to keep his clothes together. So it's a lot of things going on. I was actually anyway. Jamal, please. Do you want it to come back? Do you think it will come back?
No, definitely not. I'm glad that Morris Chestnut has moved on to greener pastures. So at least we know that it doesn't have a chance of him being attached and getting picked up in that regard. So, Hulu made the smart decision of saying she's not strong enough as a lead by herself, as per all of the, signage that we see for this season. It's her and Morris Chestnut together.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
I'm like, I sent you guys the interview. They're doing joint interviews together.
Yeah.
So I'm
That's system. Like, whose
Well,
show is
because
this
it's
really?
Morris Chestnut. He's a star. So I wouldn't.
But I'm saying, but to be like, you on my show, not I'm on your show. Like, this
yeah,
is
I'm like, you're coming.
I mean,
I can see if this was the
Illy,
first
Michael,
season, but this is the second season. You are established as the lead.
yeah.
But
yeah, but when Michael Ealy was on there, they did interviews together also. It's the
But
star power. I mean,
he
Michael
wasn't on the
Ealy,
poster
even
though.
though, huh?
He wasn't on the poster. Like season one, it
No,
was
he
just
wasn't
her.
on the poster. No, he wasn't.
That-
He wasn't.
That's
But
all.
this
That's all.
is,
I thought too.
but Morris
Perhaps too much.
Chestnut played a pivotal part in it. I mean, he was the first chair. So
I mean, Damon was season one. Like he was the love interest. He turned out to be the villain. Anyway, I get both of you are correct. Like, I think maybe they're like, this is Morris Chestnut. This may help get more people to the show. But he's leaving, right? Like, it wasn't like, hey, how about we start our own firm and like, okay, season 3 is gonna be both of them, and now the poster is both, and like this is their show together. Like, they're like, no, this is still gonna be Jax's show, but she can't carry the show, and like and the rest, and Jax and like Lewis ain't it. So like, it took 2 years for this show to even come back for a season 2, right? Like, that's not a good sign. And then as we were talking about other, like, the
wasn't it the writer's strike and COVID?
and well, yeah,
COVID had
true.
already been done when this show premiered, pretty much. Like,
Yeah,
the first
but
season.
I'm saying currently though, between the writer strike and the actor strike, a lot of companies lost money, and they're gonna be like, we cannot put all this bullshit on. So I think Disney's just gonna be like, we can't have all these passion projects, and Onyx is going, like, they're gonna be like, we gotta stick to our main content, and this ain't it. Like I don't see them putting more money behind it, because this show costs a lot. It's well produced. It is a well produced show. The writing is shit.
Yeah, she always looks tip top. Like, she's a
But
very
everything
pretty
is
lady.
top. Everything is top notch. This is well put together.
Yeah.
All the cigarettes look good. I mean, it's like it's well put together. You know what I'm saying? So like, that costs a lot of money, and I'm sure they're gonna be like, sorry, y'all gotta find a new job. We can't afford it. We gotta cut some things. That's me. I think. All right, Joanne, say goodbye, and then we'll tell Kim, and then
Like, comment, subscribe. See you guys tomorrow.
the next tomorrow. It's still next week though. You're right either way. See you next week tomorrow. What we were doing, Mr. Crockett and stuff. That's because Jamani. Boop. All right, Kim. Please give our official goodbye.
Yes. Thank you so much, chat. We truly appreciate you joining the conversation. We can't do it without you. We are trying to reach 500 views per video, so we need you to like the video. Please like the video. Also share the video, because we're trying to get to 2,500 subscribers by December 15th. And with your help, we can definitely accomplish that. Also hit the notification bell so you know when the next video is coming, which will be tomorrow. So thank you very much for joining the conversation again, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Thank you.
Thank you. She's so wonderful, brings so much energy. Great convo. Thanks. Thank Marcus for giving us a lot of comments to work with, and then anyone else who commented, we do appreciate you hanging out with us tonight. Like I said, either way, this is gonna be our last review. I tried, but nah, this ain't it. I'm gonna go watch Good Times again. Anyway, tomorrow we're doing Mr. Crockett, Blink Twice, and From. That's the videos we got coming out tomorrow. So please hang out with that. And as we go on, we're gonna get back to some more Tubi stuff. So Kim and Stacy, when Stacy's available, we're gonna do some Tubi movies. So look out for that. But we do our best to keep content going. And a lot of new things are starting. Lioness is starting with Taylor Sheridan. Tyler Perry's show should be out next week. Beauty in Black. Any Grotesque. I think Kim started it. I think Kim started it. She said it was like a fever dream, if I remember correctly. And I haven't seen it. We gotta do the Menendez documentary when Stacey's available. Docu series when drama when Stacey's available. But we are gonna do the Penguin as a season when that's available. Yeah, watch. So we'll be around anyway. Thank you so much. Have a great evening, and we will see you tomorrow at 4:00 Eastern Standard Time for Mr. Crockett. I think we're doing first. Until then. I will say thank you guys very much for hanging out with us. I see people watching us in the chat.
I enjoy the view very much. I don't know what the fuck I was watching.
Rewatch this. Rewatch this when we're done. Rewatch this. You'll see what we're talking about. You're gonna be like, oh shit,
Hilarious, absolutely hilarious.
You're gonna do it.
Oh shit.
Stacey, do your thing.
Fuck that shit.
But anyway, please like and share and comment on the video and all that kinds of stuff. As they say, we're just gonna end this broadcast and say bye.